Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Don Paul here on my YouTube channel, which is Don Paul Weather Plus. And I thought we'd get bad weather on Thursday. That happened. There were some flooding rains in parts of the southern tier, and I wasn't the only one who thought that. But now we're going to jump ahead to the good news in the next few days. And by the way, I ask you always, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, please, under the video if you like this YouTube channel and want to see it continue. We're looking at the GFS model, which is completely refurbished. It looks exactly the same as it's been looking for years on this graphic site, but it's got new physics and new computer crunch power behind it. We're all in my meteorological community going to be watching it to see if it gets better than the old GFS, which does have real value, the GFS, but it has continuously trailed the European model, not every day, but over the majority of days. So we're hoping to get a little closer now. Anyway, this weekend's is an easy call. Let's jump ahead to Saturday. We've got high pressure to our west and a very light north-northwest flow on Saturday. High UV index, that's a given when you have virtual full sunshine and not that much humidity in the air. Low to mid 70s on Saturday, and then on Sunday, we are looking just fine. Not midsummer heat, but getting closer to 80, moderate humidity, very little wind. So if you're going to be doing active stuff, it is going to feel a little warm, but we're not talking about mid and upper 80s, and we stay dry through the day. Come much later Sunday night into Monday morning, with the approach of a warm front, some scattered showers and thunderstorms will be showing up toward dawn on Monday, not Sunday. So we had sheer perfection 2 weekends ago. We had total lousiness last weekend, and we're getting back to near sheer perfection for this weekend. Now on Monday, this model has to paint precipitation in a broad brush fashion, so there's usually more coverage than actually develops with summertime convection. There will be a few showers and storms for portions of Monday. There will also be rain-free periods, and we start to get into a muggy southwest flow. Afternoon highs on Monday go into the low 80s, which is not exactly Floridian, but it's certainly warm enough this weekend and especially next week to do whatever you like in terms of temperatures. We are getting into this warmer pattern, which I've advertised in an article in the current online Buffalo News about a more summery pattern. And the temperatures are always easier to call in the extended range than precipitation. Now, this model also has the threat of a few showers and thunderstorms as we get into Monday night and Tuesday with that west-southwest flow. Still going to feel muggified on Tuesday. But again, we're not talking about real oppressive midsummer heat and humidity. I know some of you actually love that stuff, and I'm concerned for you people because there's something wrong. That's just not right. But in any case, most days next week, we're going to be in the upper 70s to low 80s. There is not going to be any backsliding as we had on Thursday with all that shower activity and some of the flooding rains with 60s. That's not in sight. So for next week and beyond that, the part of the extended outlook I'm giving you that's weakest is the part that's always weakest. It's precipitation. Here we are looking at, let me move this back a few days and take a look at this ensemble of the models for the upper air flow. Now, as we get into this weekend, we do see, and we're going backward here in time, this ridge of warm high pressure building not just from the Gulf to the Great Lakes, but all the way up to near James Bay. And this is towards Sunday morning with that nice burnt umber shading. Not going to get too chilly there. The chilliness from Thursday with its storm system well out. And then you see some relative cooling with this trough of low pressure to the west. The ridge is peeking over us again during the weekend, keeping us dry and comfortably warm, while it's much more unsettled out here in Montana and Wyoming. Who knows, there could be a couple of snowflakes up above 14,000 feet on some of the mountains out here, but that's not going to impact anyone you know, I don't think. And we look through next week, and you see the ridge tends to flatten out again a little bit, but the below average conditions stay to our west. Oh, by Tuesday, we might be back to the upper 70s instead of the low 80s, but no 60s here. The 60s and 50s are out here, way out to the west. And in general, the core of the warmest and muggiest air stays to the south. Now, we are going to have some mild and muggy days, but the problem is as this ridge near the end of the month begins to build to our west, see here, and then we get into a west-northwest flow, that can sometimes pose a problem in terms of precipitation. Now, over the heart of the highest pressure, it'll be really dry. But around the periphery of the ridge, you can sometimes get what meteorologists call a ring of fire, occasional clusters of thunderstorms barreling by on pretty fast upper level winds from time to time. We have no ability, this is showing June 27th, here on the 20th, to talk about where and when any of these theoretical storms would develop. But there are occasions in which the pattern for the periphery runs from Iowa to Illinois to Indiana to the Ohio Valley, and those would all miss us. But that ring of fire could also set up shop farther north, from Fargo to Minneapolis to Milwaukee, Detroit, and the eastern Great Lakes. So we've got a good bill of health in terms of temperatures. We're going to get the warmth for outdoor activities without the oppressive heat, but there are still no guarantees on a true drying out period. And the farmers need that more than anybody. I know they have some trouble in some of the farms getting the machinery out into muddy fields. We're not likely to see a string of pearls with day after day after day of drying to allow the soil to truly dry out. And we just had a bunch of rain on Thursday, especially in the southern tier. So the overall look is warmer, but not so hot, not as dry as we'd like. But this weekend, all bets are on. You are good to go. Me too, now that I think of it. We've got a beautiful weekend ahead of us. Enjoy, and I will talk to you very soon.